About class, like here, like we already came to know about class A, that how many networks will be there and how many hosts will be there per network, right?
Yes, right.
Okay,
Good.
so same thing we came to know in class B, that okay, in class B there will be 16,384 network, and in a single network, when we are talking about host, how many hosts per network, so in that there will be 65,536 minus 2, right? And why we
Mm-hmm.
always do minus 2?
Because the network ID and the broadcast ID.
Broadcast ID. So we do not use network ID and broadcast ID in our
Broadcast
system.
ID.
That's why it is
Mm,
minus 2.
yes.
Okay. Same here in class C, when we are talking about network. So see, one network part, two network part, three network part. So here it is
Mm,
asking on bit, and I already told you, when you see n means on. See here, on.
mm,
So when we are
mm-hmm.
calculating it, so formula is 2 to the power on bits. See, 0 is off is also bit, and 1 is also bit.
Mm,
So I said 2 to the power on bit, so you have to find which one is on bit. So 7 7 7 21, so 2 to the power 21, and there will be this number of networks. Okay,
mm,
yes. And okay, now if I have this number of networks, so how many you host means how many IP address in one network. So you can say here that there will be 254 IP in a single network.
mm,
Okay, so now I have summarized it here, all this in class A and class B. You can see network and host. So in class A
mm-hmm.
there will be 128 networks and this much of host per network. It's not total IP in class A, no. Okay, if you want to know total IP in
Mm,
class A, so you have to multiply it. Okay,
mm,
now here this is the total number of network and total number of hosts. So this is network and this is host per network. Okay, HN, host per network. Here also this is network and this is host per network. Okay, and minus 2 is not there, minus 2 is automatic. Okay, yeah,
okay.
we can, if we do not do minus 2 also, no problem. But when we will assign those IP address, we will always minus 2.
Okay.
Okay, so same all those things I have clearly written here. See, in class A, okay, class A IP start from 0 to 127. How many network, how many
Mm,
host per network, and this IP address is used for unicast. Unicast means this IP address you can assign in the devices. Okay, like in router, in firewall, in computer, in laptop, you can assign class A. Same unicast, when you see unicast means I can assign those IP address to the machine, unicast. But when you see
okay.
multicast IP address you cannot assign to the computers.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now, so now when we talk about unicast, what do you understand about unicast? Unicast means one to one communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to ping to you, so I will ping to you, right? That is known as unicast communication. Means sending
Okay.
data from one computer to another computer, and to not another, you can say sending data from a specific source to a specific destination, like that. Okay, that is unicast, one to one communication, right? Now when we are
Okay.
talking about multicast, multicast is
Mm,
okay. And sorry, come to unicast. In unicast we use A, B and C, right?
okay.
Now, and when we talk
Right.
about multicast, multicast is used to send message from single source to a specific group. See, I am
Mm-hmm.
red and I want to communicate to green, so I'm only communicating to green. Okay,
Okay.
so which IP addresses are used? So class D range is used for multicast purpose. Multicast is used for sending message to a multiple users, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we'll see those IP addresses while like when we will use dynamic routing. Now broadcast is from single user to multiple users, or you can say from one to all in a single LAN. When we are in the LAN, if I want to communicate to
Mm-hmm.
everyone, so that is broadcasting, right?
Okay.
So see, this is the broadcast address. Can you see? Whenever you see in last, okay, like that,
Mm-hmm.
255 something like that, then you see, okay, this is the broadcast IP address. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now if, see, I have written some IP address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? We have IP addresses. Now you have to identify that, you have to find what is the network ID and the broadcast ID of this IP.
The network ID
Yes.
and the broadcast ID.
Yes. Take a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Take a notebook and write. Okay, what this is IP. So what will be the network ID of this IP and what will be the broadcast ID of this IP? And let me know.
Broadcast
Okay,
ID
so the first one is what you said, 15 dot.
0.0.0.
Okay, and what is the broadcast?
15.255 255 255
Okay,
255.
fine. Okay, now you give me for this one, number 5. Okay, no, 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 not number 5. Give
The
me
number
number
5.
number 3. Sorry, number 3, number 5, and number 7.
Number 3. Number 3 we have a 200.11.0.
Okay, 200 dot.
1.1.0.
Okay, fine, and
Broadcast we have 200.1.1.255.
okay, very good. Now give me number 5.
Number 5 we have 2 222.1 dot number 5, it's a little bit hard. Okay, 222.1.0.0. I don't know if it's good. Is it right?
Come again, number 5. What you said?
Number 5, I was saying we have 252. Oh, 222
Okay,
dot 1
okay,
dot 0 dot 0.
okay, very good. Broadcast.
And the broadcast, it's very simple, 222.1.0.255.
Okay, very good. Okay, now last one.
Ah, my teacher is killing my head now. More calculation. I like mathematics. That's why I'm doing. Uh, okay. 182.168.192.10. Okay, it's very simple. 182.168.0.0, and the broadcast is 182.168.255.255.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we did this one. Now let's move to another one. Now see,
Interesting.
we have something like first IP and the last IP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if this is my IP address, right? So this is my IP
Yes.
address and I belong to class A15 network. So what will be the first IP of this network and what will be the last IP of this network? So you give me here the number one.
Can you come again?
See here, suppose, remember, here I said this is my network ID, right?
Mm.
Okay. So this is my network ID and this is my broadcast ID. So after network ID,
Mm.
you have a start IP, right?
Mm.
Okay, and after before broadcast IP, you have last IP, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So here I am asking if this is my IP address, right? So I belong to
Mm.
15 network, right?
Mm.
So what will be the first IP of this network and what will be the last IP of this network?
Okay, the first IP.
Okay, so you give me number one, okay, number
Let me
four
calculate.
and number seven. First you calculate in your notebook and then you just give me the
Yeah,
answer of number one, number four and number seven. Okay, now tell me the number one. What is?
the number one we have 150. Oh no, 15.0.0.1.
Very good. And the last?
And the last IP we're gonna have 15.255.255.254.
Okay, very good. Okay,
Yes.
one, two, three. Okay, four. Okay, four is already there. Can you match your answer? Is it like that? Is it 10.10.10.0.0.1 and the last IP is 10.255.255.254, right?
Yeah, 254, yes.
Okay, number. Okay, now number seven.
Number seven. 182 dot
Okay,
zero. No, 182.168.0.1.
okay,
And the last IP will be 182.168.255.254.
okay, fine, good.
Wow,
Okay, so we have,
my brain is working.
yes. Now IPv4 binary classification. Binary classification means, as you know
Mm-hmm.
that IPv4 we use as a decimal number, right? We write 192, 254. We are writing like that, right? But computers
Mm-hmm.
understand those IP in binary language, right? 101,
Mm,
zero
yeah.
one, 11, 00 like that, right?
Mm,
Okay, so how to convert decimal number to binary? Okay, so whenever you want to convert decimal number to binary, so this chart is very much important. You have to remember this one. And remember this, whenever you do subnetting and everything, we use this one, right?
mm,
Yes. So now see, if you have this IP address, suppose you have 85.5.191.1, right? Okay.
mm-hmm.
Now you want to convert this 85.5.191.1 in decimal to binary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how you will convert? See here. If I want 85, okay. So which number I will pick from here to make 85? If I want to make 85,
If
okay.
yes, 85.
Yes. So
We which number are we gonna take?
yeah, which number we will be taking from here, okay, to make 85?
85 we will take 64.
Okay.
We take 64 plus um, we cannot take
See,
32. We
if
take
we are
15.
taking 64, right?
Yeah.
Open your calculator. 64 plus
Plus 16.
16 plus
Plus plus 4 or 2.
yeah, 4
Let
I have
me.
written here. See,
Yeah, 4
4 and then
and 1.
1. So it is 85, right?
I want to check my
Yeah, check it.
calculation. Oh my phone. Right. I have a bad phone here. Eight minutes. We said we take 64,
16, 4 and 1.
64, 16.
4 and 1. 4 plus 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, we get 85.
85, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, did we use 128? No. So it's 0.
No.
So you have to put 0. Did we use 32? No. 8? No. 2? No. Okay. So this is the binary conversion of 85. Okay. See here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now see 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 like that, right?
Mm.
Okay. Now I have 5. You have understood this one? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Understood.
asking, did you understood this 85 conversion?
Yes, I understood. Yeah.
Okay. Now if I'm talking about 1, sorry, 5. Okay.
5.
Yes. So
Yes,
convert
5 we're
5.
gonna take just 4 plus 1.
Yes. So here will be 0,
0,
0.
0,
Okay, very good.
0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1 equal 5.
Okay, now see, match it. Is okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
It's
now
okay.
I'm not going to convert. You convert this 191.
Which one? 191.
Yeah, this one. Okay, for 191.
We go with 128.
Okay,
128.
plus 32 plus 16 plus 8
Yeah.
plus 4. Okay, plus 2 plus 1. Okay, because see, if you will add
Mm-hmm.
128 and 64, it will become 192, right?
192.
So we
Yeah, yeah,
cannot
yeah.
take this 64, but if I'm taking 198, 64 is 0, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Then it is
Mm.
191. See here. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And 1 you already know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, no.
So what will be the for 1?
Sorry?
What will be
0,
the,
0.
yeah, all is 0, last is 1, right?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Now this one. 66, 94, 29, 13. This one. Okay. Please note it in your
60.
notebook.
Which one?
I have round this one.
Oh, 60, 66, 6.
Yeah, you write it in your notebook. 66,
Yeah.
94, 29, and 13. And then you give me the binary.
Okay.
When you calculate everything, then let me know.
0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0,
Okay, so
1.
now share the answer with me.
Yeah.
66, 94. Okay. So
We have
I
a
asked
zero
about
one.
64, 94, 29, and 13,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so what is for
Yeah.
66?
0. For 66, we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0.
For 66. For 66, you have 64, right?
Yes.
And then,
Oh, you asking me the number. I combine.
no, yeah,
Oh, you ask me to put it directly in binary. For 64, I took 64 plus 2.
yes. So what is the binary of 66?
We have a 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. 0.
Okay, fine. Is like this, right?
Yeah. Plus 2.
Okay, now for 94. Okay, for
For
90,
92, we have a 1, it's 0,
yes.
1,
Okay,
0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 at the end.
okay, fine. Is it like this? Check.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, for 29.
For 29, we have a 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1.
Okay, very good. And for 13.
13, we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1.
Very good. So now you are expert.
Yeah, it's very easy to see that.
Yes.
I can just give. But I should have now the binary, that shot in my brain,
Okay.
like 128, 60, 32,
Yes.
16, 8, 4, 2, 1
Yes.
equal to 55.
Okay. Now
You feel everything brain that.
this.
That's
Okay.
very
This
good.
is the assignment. Okay, but
Yeah.
this you do it later. See, here it is asking, what is the binary of 117? Okay, so you select
It's
here. This
very
is
easy.
objective. Okay, this is objective. You select. Okay, whether it will be A, B, whatever you select, and let me know. Okay, not today. Next time. Here
It's
it
very
is.
easy.
Yeah, here is asking, if I have this binary. If I have this
How to
binary,
put it?
what will be the decimal? Okay.
Yeah, very easy.
Okay, very good.
No problem for
Yeah,
that. We can
same thing
skip.
you have to find here. Okay.
Mm,
Okay, and here this is also one task for you. Okay.
mm,
Okay, here this is decimal, you have to convert into binary. Okay, all this.
very simple.
Okay, now, okay, now see, conditions for computers or conditions for PC, condition for networking device, that if any device which is in a same LAN like PC1 wants to communicate to PC2. Okay,
Mm,
so what is the condition they should follow to communicate? Okay, so if
mm,
PC1 wants to communicate to PC2, now see, IP address class must match.
mm.
Is it okay?
Okay.
Like if
IP
I
address
belong to
class.
class A and you belong to class B, do you think that we will communicate?
Yeah.
No, my friend, I am saying I am from class A and you are from class B. We will communicate easily.
No, we need the router.
Yes, but I'm talking default communication.
Oh,
No, right? So here is saying that whenever you want to communicate, we should have same class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
second condition is like that IP address network part must match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Must match.
now
Network part.
both
Mm-hmm.
computer IP address cannot be same.
Mm-hmm.
So if your IP is also same and my IP is also same, we cannot communicate, right?
No
So we will get error
collision.
like IP conflict error kind of message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, fourth condition. Fourth condition is in any IP class, whether it is A, B, C, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In A, class A, how many network part is there and how many host part?
We have one network part
Okay.
and three host part.
Okay. And in B,
In B, we have two network part and two host part.
okay. And in C,
Three network part and one host part.
okay. Very good. Now understand this one. So if I'm talking about class A, class A,
Mm.
okay. So normally we have one network, host, 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 right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm writing this IP address 10.10.10.255 or 10.10.10, so this IP belongs to which class?
10.10. This is class A.
Class A. Very good, no problem. Okay. Okay. Now tell me, this is a correct IP or wrong IP?
Hmm.
This is correct, or you can you can say this is okay, or you can say not okay. Now tell me, this
This is
can we assign this IP address in computer?
no.
Why? I cannot assign
Huh?
10.10.10.10 in my computer.
We we I don't know. We can assign.
Yes,
Is
why?
it?
Yeah, it's a correct IP address, no problem in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but
It
now if
looks
I'm
like
telling you, see,
okay.
understand this condition. If you are
Mm.
talking about correct IP address, we're saying that in any class, right? Whenever you are
Mm.
using IP address, you cannot use all 0 in host part, and you cannot use all 255 in host part. Like if I'm writing this IP address 10.0.0.0, is it IP address? Can I assign this IP address in the system?
No,
No. Very good. Why?
because
Because I'm using all host part cannot be 0. So this is a network ID.
yes,
Okay.
network ID.
Yes. Now see, but if I am using this 0.0.10, is it okay?
Yeah, is it okay?
Okay. Very good.
It
Because
is okay.
yes, because I'm using only 20, right? I
20.
cannot
Yeah,
use
yeah.
all 30 in class
All
A.
30. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm using 10.10.0.0, is it okay?
Yeah,
Yes, very good. This is also
it's okay.
okay. Now tell me, can I assign this IP address in the system?
Which one?
This IP at the last one, this.
Mm, yeah, you can assign.
0.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. 0 is also
Mm.
IP address. So do not think that 0 is not IP. 0 is also IP address. We can assign. But
Mm.
yes, but we have to follow the condition. I cannot assign all 0 in host part. But
No.
I can
Okay.
use 2010, like, see, I can use like like this also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But network part cannot be.
Zero.
Yes, this is a wrong IP address. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about zero, means how many zero will be there in class A IP address. So you can keep 20, no problem. 20 here, 20 here, 10, no problem. But you cannot use 30.
Oh,
So
the
whenever
host
you,
part, like
yeah,
zero.
whenever you see 30 in host part is wrong, or whenever
Mm.
you see 0 in network part is wrong.
Okay.
Okay. But first, only
That's,
first octet in network part, it cannot be 0, because your IP address start from 1, right? Not 0. 0
mm.
is reserved by
Mm-hmm.
INA.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah. Understood.
now, but if I'm writing like this, 10.0.0.2, like this, is it okay? Is it correct IP or wrong IP?
Is correct.
Correct. Very good. 10.255.255.0. Now tell me.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Very good. 10.255.0.255.
It's good.
Okay. 10.255.255.255.
It's good.
This.
No, 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 no. It's not good.
Yes. So in
No
all,
good
yeah,
because it's
in,
a host part.
yeah, so in all host part, we cannot use
Mm.
255.255. So if we will use,
Mm.
so this is broadcast IP, right?
Broadcast.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
this is what? Network ID.
Network ID.
After that, whatever IP address is there, all is okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, done, no, no problem.
No problem.
Okay. Now, so if I'm using PC1, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and here is my PC2, and this is my IP address, okay, and this is your IP address. Now tell me whether we will be able to communicate or not.
You're using PC1.
Yes, and this is PC1 IP address is mentioned here, and this is PC2 IP address, and now you have to tell me whether it will communicate, yes or no, simple.
Mm. Yes.
They will communicate.
Yes, they will communicate.
Okay. Number second,
Number second, 172.168. No,
why?
because they they don't have the same network part.
Very good. Okay, number three, fast, fast.
Number three, no.
Four,
Number four, yes.
okay, five,
Number five, yes.
six,
Number six, no.
seven.
Number seven, no. Number eight, no.
Why?
Number nine,
Here, number, you have to explain me why.
the same thing I said. They don't have the same.
No, this one,
Which number?
this one.
11.10. Yeah, because here we have a problem. Uh,
I hope you are not watching my slide. because I have already
No, no, no,
shared.
no.
Okay. So now,
No,
so
no,
tell
no, no,
me.
no. I don't even have it because
Okay.
if I do that, now you send me to the slide because I was not there. How
Yes.
can I understand class?
Okay. So tell me this
It will
one.
be stupid for me.
This one.
Yeah, I can tell you. You can see the net. You said I said they will not communicate.
Yes. But
Why?
why?
Because they are same IP address.
Yes. Very good.
I'm
Okay.
understanding, cluster.
Okay. Good.
You are
Good.
teaching well. I
Uh,
can understand everything.
okay. Now about this one.
There is conflict of IP. They are
Okay.
fighting.
Yes. And what about this one?
Which one?
This.
Okay. 1.2, 116. Yes, they are. I mean, they can.
Okay. Very good.
It is.
And okay, about this
And we
one.
have a 127. No.
Why?
One. Which one?
This one. One.
192,
No. No. This.
168,
No. This one. 127.
127, 10, 10, 1. 127, 10, 10, 2. Because we 127, 10, 10.
127 is we cannot use it because it's a reserve IP address. We
It's a,
cannot
yeah,
assign loop
loop
back
back.
IP address. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what about the
I was
last
about to
one?
say that. And the last one, 192, 160, dot 192, 160, dot 255. They cannot communicate
Why?
because another one is used like broadcast.
Yes. Very good. The PC2 is using broadcast IP address. So
Yeah,
we
broadcast
cannot
IP address.
assign broadcast IP address to computer. That's why they won't be
Mm-hmm.
able to communicate. Very good. Okay.
I'm understanding
Yes.
class.
You pass. Okay. Now lab
I
2.
enjoy.
Lab 2. Okay. Now here you have to
Yeah.
tell me PC1 have this IP, PC2 have this IP. Now you have to tell me whether they will communicate or not.
PC1, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 0. 10, 20, 20, 20. No. Yes,
Why?
they will communicate. They will communicate.
Yes, very good. First you
Yes.
see network. Network is same.
Network, yes.
Okay, now you see whether this IP is correct or not. Yes, it's single zero means it's correct IP. This is single
Mm.
255 is correct. Means first you have to see
Mm-hmm.
whether network is matching or not. If network is matching, then you
Mm.
check this IP is okay or not. So you say this is okay means they will communicate.
Mm.
Okay, now tell me here number 2.
172, 168. No.
Why?
No, because they different network.
No, network is same. See 172.
Same. Yeah,
Yeah.
172.
So what is the problem?
Because one is network ID,
Yes. Means
the
in
PC
class
one.
B, this IP belongs to class B, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in class B, there is two host part, right?
Mm.
Host part. And you are using 20 means this is a
Two.
wrong IP address.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me third, four, five, fast.
Yeah, they can communicate.
Second,
They can communicate.
50,
Yes.
1,
Sorry?
this one.
Yeah, they can communicate.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
1.1.0. 1.1.0. Yes. Yes, also.
Okay, this one.
1.2. Yes, they can.
Okay, one. This one.
127. No.
Okay, very good. This one.
192. No.
Okay, why? Because 192, 158.
With 58.
Yes, and here is 10.0. So this is wrong because this is class C, and in class C,
Mm-hmm.
how many host is there? One host part, and you are using 0.
Mm-hmm.
So this is wrong IP address. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now tell me about this one.
160. 192. Which one? I can't see.
This one 16.0.
I'm using the phone.
Okay. Okay. Then it's no.
Sometimes, yeah,
Okay. Okay. No
there are my
problem. But
picture
I
there.
have seen that you understood it. So okay. Fine. Very good.
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. Okay, now here we have to understand few things, that what is public and private IP address. See, whenever we talk, sometime we say this is public IP, this is private IP, right?
I have the problem with this
Yes,
most of the time.
yes,
Confusion.
yes. But what is public IP address and what is private IP address? Okay,
Mm,
now see. So whatever IP address we have learned from class A to class C, okay, those all are IP addresses. Okay, class A to C, but those IP addresses are divided by INA, okay,
mm,
Internet Assigned Number Authority, in two sector. One is public sector and second one is private sector. Public sector means,
mm-hmm,
ISP. Okay, so whenever I
mm-hmm.
want to access internet in my organization, okay, or whenever I want to access
Mm.
in my computer, okay, so I need
Yes.
public IP address. So I will reach ISP and I will say that I need one IP address. So whatever IP address I am getting from ISP and I'm paying for that one, so those IP address is known as public IP. Simple.
Mm,
Okay. Now, so whenever you will get one public IP address, now see in your organization, like in your like the organization where I have went, okay, in that
mm,
organization you have purchased single connection from ISP, right?
mm.
So
Yeah.
ISP gave you single IP address, but with that single IP address, maybe your 100 computers are communicating to internet, right?
Yeah.
But how it is happening? You have
Mm-hmm.
only single IP address, but and those with that single IP address, how why 100 computers are communicating? Because ISP has given you a single IP, so only single computer can reach outside, or you can
Mm-hmm.
say single
Yes.
computers can go to internet. But why you have multiple IP addresses going to internet? So your here you are using one technology which is known as NAT on your public, on your router. Okay, so see
Mm-hmm.
on your, on maybe do I have that scenario? Okay, here see, understand it. See, this is internet ISP. Your one connection is coming to your router, right? Okay, so your
Mm-hmm.
router has two interface. One is LAN, sorry, one is WAN and second one is LAN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your router has two interface, one is WAN and one is LAN. So inside LAN you will be using private IP address,
Mm.
and on the interface which is connecting to ISP, whether it is wireless, okay, wireless has
Mm.
also IP, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, whether it is wireless or wired, you have to use public IP address. And here NAT,
Mm-hmm.
you are using NAT. So whoever is coming from your private network, it will come here, and this router will convert those private to public and they will reach to internet. When again the reply will come as a public, this router will convert that public to private and it will reach to the client. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Now you will say, okay, which private IP address I can use? So these, here you have the list of private IP address which is predefined by INA. Okay, that these IP addresses are free of cost to use inside your LAN environment whenever you are using some kind of NAT process.
Okay.
Okay, but always keep in mind, you can use only private IP address to access internet when you have public IP.
Okay.
But
I
if you do
cannot
not,
go out.
yes, but if you do not have public IP, you use whatever you want, no problem. In your LAN, like if I'm configuring router, right, I am using any IP address,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? For practice, you use
Mm-hmm.
any IP address, but the condition is you cannot have internet access, right?
Okay.
But if you want internet access, you need one connection from ISP, and you have to configure
Mm-hmm.
NAT on the router. Okay, and you have to apply
Mm-hmm.
these private IP address inside your network. Now you will say, okay sir, I am getting private from class A, private from class B, and private from class C as well. So which one I should
Mm-hmm.
use? Okay, now tell me. Here you will get 1.67 million, so 16 million here. Okay, here you will get around 1 million. Okay, in class
Mm-hmm.
B, and here you will get 65,536 IP address in class C. Okay, so class C is
Mm-hmm.
the lowest one. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
most of the company, they choose free IP or private IP according to their requirement, that if they need like 256, okay, or maybe like 500, so they use subnetting. But if they need 1 million IP address, so they will directly go for class B. If they need 16 million IP address, they will go for class A. But if they
Mm-hmm.
need lower, like your organization, they don't need much IP address, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can go for class C. And you will, even if in your computer also, if you write IP config, you will see class C IP address, right?
Yeah, I have classic 192.168 something.
Yes. Why? Because your organization is a small, so that's why you have private IP address from class C. But if your organization will be big, then maybe you will find class B, or maybe you can find class A.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any doubt in this private and public IP?
Oh, very good. Nice. I've understood. Simple.
Okay, now these are some recommendation that where I should use private, where I should use public. Okay, so public IP address is a global IP address. It is used to communicate outside your network, means like internet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
public IP address range is different, and everything public IP address is defined by ISP. So whenever you will whenever you will apply for the connection from ISP, so ISP will give you that IP. Maybe he can give you from class A, class B, class C, any IP. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there is no control of that IP. Means you cannot control that IP. Those IPs are controlled by ISP. Okay,
Okay.
so same thing is there. Cost, see, for private IP address is a free, but for public you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what is the range of
Okay.
these private IP address? Except these IP address, all IP is public. So if I'm writing some IP address, okay, I'll give you one assignments. I will write some IP address, so you have to define, and you have to find that whether this IP address is private or this IP address is public. Okay,
Now?
no, no, not now, in next class.
Okay.
That is assignment.
Yes.
See, assignments, see, today it's like you are the beginner. Okay, I'm starting from a scratch. That's why I was
Mm.
asking something, some questions online. But next time I will give you assignments, you complete that assignments and you send it to me. Okay,
Okay.
okay, now, okay, have you heard about this IP address, a pipa address?
Pipa, yes. I
Okay,
have heard about
okay, what is a pipa?
it. Pipa, it has been long time. The computers taken. No, explain to me. I know a people, but
Yes. See, a pipa
it has been
address
long
is
time.
like, suppose my computer is connected in the network and those computers are looking for IP address, right?
Mm,
Now you have two options to provide IP address. One is statically you go to the computer and you assign IP address, right?
mm-hmm,
Okay. But whenever you have assigned IP to the computer via DSCP, right?
mm,
And DSCP is failed. Okay.
mm-hmm,
So the computer who is using DSCP IP address, those computers will get a pipa address after 16 second. Okay.
mm-hmm,
This is the maximum
mm-hmm.
time. This is the maximum time, means within this 16 seconds they will get this a pipa address. Okay, see, right now you can see this person is connected and he has DSCP IP address. You can see here DSCP is enabled, but when DSCP is fail, okay, your
Mm,
computer will get a pipa address, and your computer will not get, your computer will generate that a pipa address, saying that, my friend, I was looking for IP address and I'm not getting IP address, so let me generate one
mm-hmm,
apipa address. So that is written here, auto configuration. Okay,
mm.
yes, that is known as apipa address, automatic private IP addressing.
Okay.
Okay, and the range is from 169 to 5400. Okay, to 169.254.255.255, means after 169.254 any IP address you see, that is a pipa IP. Okay,
Okay.
now again if your DSCP is up, okay, your system will get the correct IP address, so they will remove this a pipa IP. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now here we have some kind of IP information, which is by INA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. See, zero is also IP, but it is used for default routing by INA. Okay, they are using this default
Mm,
IP. Okay, now you cannot use this IP address. See, zero, you cannot use zero like this IP.
mm.
See, if I'm talking about this IP, can I use this IP? Okay, wait, do I have this notepad? If I'm writing like 0.1.1.1, 0.0.1.1,
No.
or maybe like 0.0.0.1, what do you think? Is it a correct IP address?
No.
No. That's why it is written here. These are, okay, we cannot use these IP addresses. Okay, it is reserved
Reserved
by INA for local
local
ID
ID.
group. Okay, they use these IP addresses. Now 127, you already know this is reserved for loopback testing,
Yes.
right?
Look back testing. Yeah.
10, 172, 192. Okay, 10.0.0.0, okay, and
Mm.
10.16, sorry, 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255 is a private IP address. So understand, maybe if I will write like this, okay, so maybe like 10.20.250. Now tell me, is it a private IP address or public IP address?
10.10. Yeah, it's private.
Okay, second one,
Private.
this is also private.
No.
Why? Your private is 172.16.
It's private. Yes.
Yeah, no, but this is public. I said your private IP address is 16, not 17. See, 16. But if I will write 17, means that is public.
Okay.
Okay, and here in class
Mhm.
C, 192.168. But if I'm writing like this, now tell me, this is the private IP or public IP?
No, can you please repeat from the public and
See,
private? I want to understand properly.
see, this is the range of private IP, right? Okay, but apart from this range, all is public IP, right? So if I'm writing 10 dot any IP 10, but if it is 10 any IP, any number, that is private IP. Okay, but if I'm
Mm-hmm.
writing 172.16 any number, then any number, okay, then it is private. Okay, okay, and now sorry, I gave you wrong information. But if I'm writing 172 17 18 okay, till 31, those all are private. Like, sorry, I made you. Okay, see, if I'm writing 172.16.250.250, now tell me, is it a private or public? Is
This
private.
I have to.
Yeah, now 172.17.250.30, now tell me, is it private or public? This is also private because I have given you range. The range is 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. This is the range. But if I'm giving you one IP 172.50.250.30, now tell me, this is a private IP or public IP?
Public.
Public. And if I'm writing like this 172.33.20.20, now tell me, is it a private or public?
This is
Public, because the
public.
limitation
Public.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, 16,
31.
yeah, like this.
16.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, now if I'm writing like this 192.168.20.20, now tell me, is it private or public?
192. 168.
Yeah,
This is private.
private. Very good. 192.169.20, like this IP.
This is. This is. It's also public.
Yes, is it a
It's also
private?
public.
Yeah, very good. Public, very good. Okay, now, and this IP address 169.254, it is reserved for a pipa address, right?
Mm.
Okay, and same thing what I told you, in all host part, okay, in any IP, okay,
Mm.
in host part I cannot use
Zero
all
zero
0,
zero.
and I cannot
Mm.
use all 255, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And in network part also, suppose in class A, how many network part is there?
One network part.
Yes, so I cannot use 0 and I cannot use
255.
255. Okay, so these all are reserved by INA. So INA use there, or maybe like there. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
we already use this private IP address. We already use a pipa. We already use 127 also. So these are already reserved IP address. Apart from this, all IP address is public IP address, usable IP address, you can say. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So same here, IP address and its role. See, whenever we are talking about unicast IP address, so unicast IP address is used to assign to a single host. Okay, so if I want to assign
Mm-hmm.
IP address in your computer, so I will choose from A, class B, class C, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I want to assign some IP multicast, so multicast is not for computers. Okay, it is for a specific protocol and services. Those are from class
Mm-hmm.
D. Broadcast, yes. See, This IP is broadcast, right? So every network will have two IP, okay, network ID and broadcast IP, right? Okay. Okay, if I'm talking about loopback is used for self-testing, loopback, right? Okay, now link local. So whenever you see link local, you'll get confused. Oh my god, what is link local? So you know APIPA? APIPA is known as link local. Okay, now about all zero. Okay, it is used for unknown network when you see routing, default routing. Okay, this is broadcast IP address to communicate and to send message to all the hosts in the network. Okay, and this is direct broadcast and this is all broadcast. Okay, now here someone will ask, okay, what is subnet mask, right? So as you know that an IP address has two component, network address and host address, network address and host address, right? So subnet mask will help you to find that in my network, means I belongs to which network, which class. You will come to know that okay, I belong to this network, this class. And if my subnet mask is this, means I can communicate with how many hosts, means in my network how many users are there, or maybe how many IPs are there. Okay, so this subnet mask will I help you to know. So every class has subnet mask, you already know that, and we can modify the subnet mask. So those things comes under subnetting. Okay. Now, what is default gateway? Okay. So default gateway is used to exit your network and reach another network. Like suppose if this computer wants to communicate to this computer, so these computer do not need default gateway to communicate to this one. But when this computer wants to communicate to this server, at that time that computer need default gateway, and default gateway will be always your router IP address, or maybe your firewall IP address. Okay, or maybe your server IP address. So depending on your company infrastructure. So
We are already
suppose,
there,
yeah.
connected.
So if we are already inside LAN, see here, if we are already inside LAN, okay, in
Mm-hmm.
the same LAN. So at that time when we want to communicate, if the PCs want to communicate inside the same LAN, at that time they
Mm-hmm.
don't need default gateway.
Yes.
But if we want to communicate someone to someone else, okay, apart from that network, so at that time we need
Mm-hmm.
default gateway. So we have to exit
Mm-hmm.
from our room, okay,
Yes.
and then we have to go outside and then we can communicate. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the default gateway of your organization will be your router IP address, your maybe your firewall IP address. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is DNS server? So DNS server,
Domain name.
yeah, domain naming system, okay, or domain naming server.
Mm-hmm.
So this DNS server helps us to reach internet. See, I know that I can reach internet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can reach internet, but to locate and to find, DNS help us. See, I know you, right? I know Google, but do you
Mm-hmm.
think that I know Google IP?
Yes.
No. Do you know Google IP?
No, no, no. I don't know.
So when you
I know
ping,
the name Google
yeah,
IP.
yeah. So when you ping, when you access Google, okay, who
Mm-hmm.
will, who have the repository or who have the database of all these internet servers? Like if you want to reach Google, so for your first request goes to DNS server, and DNS server says that okay, you want to reach Google. Okay, this is the IP of Google. Please go.
Mm-hmm.
So DNS server used to resolve the
The
query,
name.
yeah, requesting, which is see, you can see the diagram. Client has requested for DNS server like google.com, and then server has responded him that okay, this is the IP of that Google server. And once that user received the IP from host, and then after host reach to the specific internet server. Means
Mm-hmm.
DNS is just like, you can say that DNS is just like your phone database. When you want to call me, okay, you just call me, you don't
Mm-hmm.
think about my number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who have kept my number in your phone? Your phone book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So same here, Google. You just ping Google, you just open Yahoo, but who have those Yahoo and Google IP information? Because those servers are also hosted on IP, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but we don't know IP. We cannot remember millions of IP addresses, right? But who will remember millions of IP addresses? DNS server. So DNS server
DNS.
remember the
Mm-hmm.
millions of IP addresses. So client, as like our computer, like host send request to DNS server. DNS server resolves the request, and then user get the IP address from DNS server, and then they reach to the internet. Okay.
Amazing. Yes.
Okay. Now we will talk about DSCP server. Okay. Now we are talking about DSCP server. Okay. Okay. Now tell me, what is DSCP server? So as I told you, we have two options to assign IP address to our system, right? One is
Yeah.
static and second one is dynamic, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when we assign a static IP address, no problem. But when we have multiple computers in our organization, we have like around thousands, 2,000 computers in our organization. Even forget about 2,000. Even we have 100 computer also. At that time also, we need to assign IP addresses to our computer through DHCP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And why we need DHCP? Because we cannot assign a static IP address to.
Address to all those computers.
Yes, because see, we can assign, that is not, but that is overload on administrator, right?
Mm,
And
yes.
we will not be able to manage those IP address, and we cannot remember what IP address I have assigned on computer 1, computer 10, computer 5, like that, right?
Mm,
And we cannot manage it. Okay. But
mm-hmm.
through DHCP we can manage, we can assign,
Mm-hmm.
we can manage, we can block. Okay. And we can also decide that who can access the IP address from DHCP, who cannot access IP address from DHCP. We can block them via MAC addresses. Okay. And in that DHCP
Mm-hmm.
also we have some options for reservation also, that okay, I can assign John computer this specific IP address. So those reservation and all those things we will see while practice. Okay.
Okay. Is
Okay.
that what we call pool?
Yeah, yeah, pooling and all those things. Yes. Okay. So now here, in after once IP address will be completed. Okay, we will see how to assign IP addresses through a static method. Then we will see how to assign a static IP through DSCP, and then we'll see this
Mm-hmm.
automatic IP addresses also. Okay. So let me show you, and see, we have some other techniques that we use some NAT. So these things we will see after that. Okay, like see, normally what here is saying that uh, you already know that slowly we are about to finish IPv4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you see that that after IPv4, once the IPv4 will finish, we are using IPv6, right nowadays. Okay. So these are some options to enlarge, okay, to expand IPv4. See,
Okay.
total IPv4 address is 4.2 billion, right? But you, what
Mm-hmm.
is the world population? It is around 7.9,
Mm.
and each and every person has two mobile, one iPad, one laptop, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone is using IP address. So you have total 4.2 billion IP address. In that, around 1 billion is reserve, I think. Okay, so around 3 point something you have public IP, and each and every people are using IP address. So these are some methods to enlarge or to expand IPv4. Okay. So all this practical we will be seeing in our practical sessions. Okay.
Okay.
So after this we will be working in with our next lesson. Okay.
Okay.